Hello, welcome. Glad you are here. It's a beautiful day out there. So happy you are here. And today our scripture reading comes from the Hope Scripture Cards from Not Consumed. These are once again no longer available. And today's scripture comes to us from 2 Corinthians 12, 9-10. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I like that. I may display that. I think I will. It'll be right there. Okay, and yesterday I did the calendar. And I fixed it. I decided it looked cool with it faded away, but all I did was put this, put this over it, and then I took my black Uniball pen and there's some parts that aren't perfect. I sort of messed up on, but hey, art does not have to be perfect. In my book, anyway. And so I'm ready for August. I think it came out pretty. It's beautiful. All the colors, the candy colors from the color cube, remember? And I'm ready for August. Which will be here next Saturday. And so today, yes, we're going to Provence today. I've been having a lot of fun in this book, and I see from everybody, you all seem to like it as well. So today we're going into Provence, but we're not going to do peas. No, we're going to do fruit. Isn't that beautiful? And if I was to paint this whole thing, it would be crazy, wouldn't it? Look at all the details in there. I mean, you got the seeds, you got the design on the butterflies, you got the seeds inside the watermelon, the seeds from there, and you got a strawberry, apricot, you got ants, or one ant anyway, and it looks like you got 3 bees and 6 butterflies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just an amazing still life. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our circles. See, look at that right there. That is amazing. And right there, and you add the butterfly. Anywhere you place a circle, you're going to see all this great stuff. See, you don't have to paint the whole thing. Just paint a circle or a square or a triangle or a rectangle. It's just amazing. I mean, look at all that. I mean, just place it there and look at all the circles. And then you get the ant. The ants down here. It's just amazing. Think I can do it? Well, I think I'm going to be up for the challenge. I'm going to give it a good try anyway. And so, of course, I got to get the Octopus out. See? Octopus Sketchbook by Seawhite. inexpensive sketchbook. And so, of course, that's going to go up there. Oh, I have to show you which section I'm doing. I'm thinking of doing this purple flower with the watermelon, the seeds, maybe those little berries, and that's a cherry stem curling around, and there's like a bit of a peach there. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get the texture of the watermelon, but I'm going to give it a try. And then there's these little seeds here. Those got to be currants or something. See if I can bring it in closer. See, and then you got the petal. That's going to be my first. Oh, maybe I can add the cherry so I just don't have the... Nah. Make you all... Well, I can put a little of the cherry in, I suppose. Yeah, that's what I'll do right there. Now, I'm using this template as of circles to get my circles. But to get a bigger circle, I also have a compass. Now, you may not have either of these, but I'm sure you have a roll of tape, and you can still get something there. Look at that. Or a smaller roll of tape, you know, with a smaller circle. But you'll see when I get started, I'll probably use a bigger circle than this. But anyway, we were going up here. This one with the flower. And so that means we got to draw it out first. So this video might be a little longer. Because I decided to show you the whole process. And see, I wrote what these are called. I call it Provence circles from the book An American in Provence by Jamie Beck. And I wrote the first arm. Is a flower arrangement. The second arm is a landscape with a lantern. Remember the lantern? That was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. And the third arm were the peas. And I almost got this done. I have one more to do. But I thought I'd take a break and do the fruit, because that was going to be my next picture. Okay, so I'm doing that, and so I'm going to get this. I'm going to maybe do a big circle. A big circle means more detail. And so that would be my challenge. Challenge myself. And so let me see. Yep, that's okay. See if I can get the compass to make a bigger circle here. So hold that and make the circle very slowly. Look at that, there's a big circle. Okay, now I gotta move my water out of the way, my ice water that I'm drinking. And because I want you to see the process here, the whole process and nothing but the process. It's like being in court. Anyway, so I take my pencil. Can you see that over there? No, you can't. So I gotta bring it down like that. Okay. And maybe I will leave out that cherry. I've decided. Okay, so the watermelon sort of comes right there. but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, four of those currants. 1, 2, 3, and then there's one hardly showing. So let me see. Put in the melon, the watermelon, right there. There it is. Okay. And so we have that currant is there. Maybe I can bring it closer so you can see. Bring it down. Yeah? I'm guessing you can see. And so I'm putting in that other currant there. There's one currant here, so that's 3. And this is 4. And then you have all these little leaves here. Just like that. Just like that. You see how easy that was for me? It'll be easy for you too if you give it a try. You gotta give this a try. This is so much fun. And then that little bit of a peach is right there. And then you got, oh, there's a flower petal here. See, that's the stem. And then like that, and it meets almost like a shoe. But right here is the cherry stem. And so this comes out a little bit like that, like so. There's like a part of the flower. And that's there. Now, right about here is the rind. And that's all watermelon then. Then you have this coming down. Probably right about there. Three. Okay, and then you have a petal there. See, this has to have like that, and then there's a petal there, and then right here, I'm going for it right there. That comes down there and goes off over there. And so all that is a flower petal. It kind of has that shape, yes, but that's rounded. And then this one comes down like this, and then goes up like that, and there's like a little overlap of the petal right there. And then we have this coming down like that, up and over. Uh-oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. Nope, that's not right. That comes down. Like that. Actually, that comes down as far as there. So maybe I got it in the wrong direction. So I bring it down just like that, up like that, and then across. And that's that petal. And then there's like this weird thing coming up like that. That's part of the flower. And then there's like an overlap there. And that's that purple flower. And there's stripes. So I put the stripes in. Whoop, whoop. See, that should be bigger. That's got to come out and around. Right like that, yes. Right there. And then there's like stripes on the back. And then there are some here, like that. There. And now for the seeds. That might be a little too big because there's not enough space there. That should be more space there. So that means I gotta bring this down here like that and then up. Yes, that's better. That's better. And then we come around like that. Boop. Because that's folded over. And that's just a stripe. Okay. And so we have oh, that's way down there like that. That's why mine is so short. Okay. And so there's a seed here. Boink, boink. And there's a seed here. Boink, boink. Yep, I gotta make those noises. And there's a double seed here. Boink, boink, boink. And then there's one over here. Boink, boink. Then there's one here. Boink, boink. And then there's a cluster of 4. There's boink, 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 and a boink. Just like that. There. Now we'll see if I can paint that. And so of course I'm going to use my number 4. And so this book's going to have to get out of the way. I'll move that out like that. Okay, so let's see. Of course I'm going to use my Davinci's. There's none of the brown table showing, because I do believe this petal is resting on a plume. It looks like a plume. And the plum is green and round. But I'm not going to worry about that. I think I'm going to do the watermelon. And so it's this color. And I don't know what this color is. And I'm looking at my paint tubes to see. I know it's Davinci. It's got to be the Perylene Maroon. Yes, that's what that is. The Perylene Maroon. And see if I get this all nice and wet here. Reactivate it. Wow, that took me a long time to draw that. So this is going to be a long video. And so I'm going to paint the red in first. That might be too red. But I don't know. I'm going with it. I will never match the color on the photograph because my paints, any paint, could not, you'd never get it exact. So I'm just going, see, I can go light, go around the seed, although I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get that texture of the melon flesh in there. This is definitely challenging. I'm kind of panicking already. No, what am I doing? Why? But this is going to be fun. And I made it big enough for you all to see. Hopefully. And then you go around the seed. Get some water, spread that all out. That petal there almost looks like a snail. Okay. And then that comes around like that. I gave myself a real challenge here. But that's what still lifes are supposed to do. They're supposed to challenge us, make us want to learn. How would you paint that? How would you get that texture? How would you get the texture of the watermelon? And so it's still kind of wet here. And so what I'm going to do, see, I Can you see my water jar? I'm going to take 2 fingers and I'm going to go up to the first knuckle and I'm going to go like that. Maybe that will create texture for the watermelon. And then I'm going to use this to clean up the water. That kind of looks like texture from my watermelon. Okay, I'm gonna do that area right there, but that's too wet, so that's not gonna do anything. Oh well. Okay, and so the next color, I have, I think I want to work on the flowers, the flower. Or maybe the peach. The peach is kind of a pale, pale, pale yellow. It is so pale. How pale is it? It is so pale that you can't tell that it's yellow. And of course, I don't have any Davinci White, but I do have Davinci. I'm using Naples Yellow Deep and Titan Buff. And I'm going to mix a lot of Titan Buff in there. I have a feeling to get that light. Because I'm thinking, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Get some more. But I don't want it to go gray. So it kind of looks like nickel Tate yellow. Nickel titanium yellow. Yes. Nickel titanium. And so if I go lightly with that color, maybe that'll be a good peach color. Or, no, that's a peach because I see the pitch on the other side. And so if I go light, see that's too dark. So I gotta add just a little bit more yellow. Yes, just like that. That's what I'm looking for. And this is the peach. It kind of looks like a pale yellow. It's the color I'm looking for. Yes, I like that. And it doesn't quite look like the flesh. And then there's supposed to be shadow there. So to make that shadow, you gotta make it darker. Do you make it darker with the titanium or maybe add a little? I'm going to add a little gray because this is the only spot where this color occurs. No, I could use that color for the seeds. Okay, I get it. But to make a dark spot, take some Denise's gray. This is from my Denise's Embrace Opacity Davinci palette. Denise's gray. And take some of this color. So see, you have that color in there. It's just darker. And it would be right along here, like so, because that's all in shadow right there. And see, that's all in shadow because you don't see the rind. See, I could put more Denise's gray in now. And And I could go along here, because you don't really see the line of the watermelon. It's all dark right in there. Maybe I should go darker. Yeah, that's more like it. That's more like it. See, it's all dark right there. Yes, and that fruit that I mentioned is right there, and it's kind of a spalty green grayish color. So I want to make that really, because it's really dark there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the yellow I made, and that is the perfect yellow for my seeds, the cantaloupe seeds or watermelon seeds. I think it's watermelon seeds. See, I should have taken that. I should have erased that line out, because now oh man, see, there I go, ruining it. I didn't ruin it, stop it. There, bring you in closer. Okay, I was able to load my brush up and really and there's a seed there, and there's a seed there, and I have to come back in and put a make that darker. That's like the perfect color. I'm glad I noticed that. That's like the perfect color for these seeds. Okay. Now, this is purple. The only purple I have in Davinci, and I'm going to use Davinci on this because it's just calling for it, is this purple here. It's called Twilight. This might be too dark because it's got to be like a red. So if I bring this up here like that, and maybe mix a little of the red in, the red we were using. I'm just taking a little. You see, I got a little on there. And yes, that's the color I need. Perfect. Perfecto. Look at that. See, once you see, you can't go back. Yeah, look, now I'm excited because I mixed that color and it worked. Take a drink of water, calm down. Okay, so this, we want to go from dark to light. The petal is lighter towards the center, darker towards the edge. So I want it, see, that right there is too dark. So maybe if I bring all that color down here, just like that. And it looks like it's a granulating color, so there's going to be another color mixed in. And so I want all the pigment down here, down at the end. That whole thing is like really dark. So I gotta use, this whole thing is dark. So I gotta use the whole purple. And I gotta use the dark purple on this. Because for some reason that's dark. I don't understand, but mine's not to understand, mine's to paint. The petals sort of got split, I guess. Anyway, so this should be darker. Although it's, the reason why mine looks different is because it should be, there should be red mixed in there, but yeah, it's all right. Art does not have to be perfect. Remember that. And we'll get along fine. And so, like I said, it's got to be darker down here, because that's the way those petals are. And they're lighter up here. Okay. Yes, that's the way it should be. And I'm gonna have to make a little more of this color, I see, because that's quite a big flower there. So I'm gonna put that there. And some more of the red. I got red on here. Put some water. That might be a little too red. Yes, that's the color I'm looking for. And once again, dark out here, light everywhere else. So if we take the dark, just like that, nice and dark. Look at that, that's beautiful. Woo, I love it. That's the way it should be. I'm getting excited here. And then you take the light and you, or water, and you bring it down. Just like that. Yes. Okay, now that has dried. So I want to go back in with the dark and put that line in. And this is supposed to look like the back of the back of the petal. Yes, that's perfect. Now you see I gotta put some red of the melon there. And red of the melon there. And this is all purple. Okay, so we did that. The next one, more water. The next one should be all light. This side of the plant. That goes down This whole side goes right there, just like that. No, there's red there. And see, the green stem comes down. Wow, this is challenging. This is amazing that it's coming out kind of cool. And then, what was I gonna do? I need some of this. See, it's granulating. The color's granulating. You can see blue and the reds in there. That's so cool. That's why that looks like that, because it's granulating. That color granulates, unfortunately. And this is all light. I'll let that dry, and then I come back in with the dark. See, it's best to do that. And then this one over here, see, and then this is all light. Hopefully it looks like a flower petal when I'm done. I don't know though. I'm starting to have doubts. Especially that round one. There's quite not so much space there, but maybe I can fix that. Okay, and now I want to take the dark, and this is the opposite side of the petal. It turned. And then this, there's like a stripe there. And then kind of a dark stripe there. This is kind of dark there. And there's a stripe there, just like that. Yes. And then there's that comes down like that. And it comes down like that stripe. And then there's one there. And then there's one there. Perfect. And then there's some there, because that is also a leaf. Now I want to fix this, because that I'm gonna have to make, because that leaf should be bigger. Okay. Now, I'm going to take chromium oxide green, because that's the color I see, and I'm coming down with the stem. This is real challenging. Oh my goodness. but look, it's coming out. Yes, and then this petal here, that's like this, really, really watered down, real light. Uh-oh, what's happening there? Uh-oh, that's wrong. Because the petal is there. Yes, right there. And I need to take some Denise's gray. Go right there. Excellent. And so I'm going to take some hematite, which is this color right here. See, that's sort of like a reddish. And that's going to be the cherry. The cherry stem. Yes, but I got it in the purple, and I can't have that in the purple. So I drop more purple in there. Okay. Okay. Now, I need some of that red. And I gotta go, because this is watermelon. Woo! Woo! Right there. And this is watermelon. Right here. And there's a little bit of watermelon right there. And so once again, well, let that dry a little. Okay, now I have this red down here. This is more, uh-oh. The currants are more of a purpley red. And so I'm gonna call on this red and purple to make that purpley red. No, that's too much red. More purple. Yes, that's the color. Right? No, that's too purple. More red, please. Thank you. More red, please. Thank you. Yes, that's the color. Almost like wine. Wine. It's wine, I tell you. And those are the currants. There's 3 1/4. And that's the rind of the watermelon. And then there's these little leaves here that are kind of olive greenish. So we have this olive brown. And so I think that's the color I'm going to use. Olive brown it's called. It's the perfect color. I can use it straight out of the tube. Maybe put a little dot there. Pick that mess up that I made, and let's see. Maybe if I mix some of the chromium oxide green in there, it'll get more greeny, you think? And it does. Awesome. I'll use that color for these little leaves here. Yes. Oops. I forgot all about that. Because I'm going to take, maybe it'll do something, you think? Probably not. Oh well. And this, there's a line there, like a crease in the leaf. All right. Now, I'm going to take this color, the olive that I made, the olive brown and the chromium oxide green mix. I'm going to take some titanium buff, probably a lot of it. And I get like this greeny gray, and that is going to be the color of my rind with lots of clear water. See, and go very lightly with it. See, maybe push it along. Whoop. See, maybe that is too dark, but just thin it out because it gets rid of the brightness of the paper. And this under here can be a full strength of Denise's gray, is what I'm gonna do under the petal right there. If I can get the paint on my brush, wow. It might help if I put the brush in the paint. I make myself laugh. There, because see, that's all in shadow. That's how that works. Even there. Yes. I like that. That was the perfect solution. Now this bright spot, all I need is like it's green, but I can't use the green of those leaves. So maybe I bring it to the olive brown side. like that. Then I'm gonna see what happens when I add some of this Harvest Moon yellow. Nothing, apparently. So I need more. Maybe if I take Naples Yellow Deep and mix it in, that's what I'm going to do. That's kind of a paley yellow brownish. That wouldn't be right. I see it's got to be green down here. Maybe if I take the chromium green and mix in with that brown. See, that sort of took over. Now if I go back in with a little bit more, not so much, that's enough. Yes, that's the color. Okay, so there's this. More of the green. That's too much green. Too much brown. Oh my goodness, this is going to drive me to distraction. Ooh, that's probably too much. Counteract it with a dot of the brown. Yes, and we're back where we need to be. Okay. I'm just going with it. There is a fruit here. It's like a green, plum. Okay, and so I'm going to take Denise's gray then, after I clean my brush, and bring this, because it is rather dark down here. Those are the leaves. I suppose it comes from not painting the background first, that's a challenge right there. Yes, just like that. Okay, now that green that's here, I'm gonna take some Denise's gray, and there's like, make these like spots, because there's like gray spots on there, on this fruit that's here, and it's actually a plum. That's probably not the correct color. Green, it should be a grayish, blackish green. I wonder if I added a little black to that color, if maybe, or Denise's gray to it. And of course, watch me get the color, and then I have to repaint it because I'm excited. Oh, I think yes. Yes, there's the color. Oh. Yes. And there's the painting. Oh my goodness. I did it. I did the challenge. I challenged myself. And I did it. See, that's what this is all about. These circles are to challenge yourself. And that's for my fellow artists. See? I think you can see that. It looks like a melon rind. That doesn't quite look like the peach, but anyway. Oh, I forgot something. I always forget. These are shiny, so I gotta put, they're like, they have a shine to them. So with my white Uniball pen, or maybe I should use my white Posca, because that doesn't seem to be working so well. My white Posca. There we go. There it is. And then I take the black, and there's like a stem on this one. Just like that. See? Add some form and shape to it. Oh, not with the pen. Oh man. So of course, ow, I ruined it. I poked myself in the finger. Ow, that's what I get for ruining my painting. But maybe while it's wet, I can spread it around. To make, like, you know, shadows there. Cool. Okay. I'm calling this one done. And see the big circle with the seeds? See, and there's a big green fruit there. Are you, yeah. Anyway. So there you have it. The fruit, part of the fruits of Provence today. And cast your care upon Jesus, for he cares for you.